Hi there. Do you like setting off your smoke alarms at 12 AM in the morning? Once, twice, possibly thrice? Well, so do I, and this is the video for you. I recently purchased a bit of film equipment that lets me create clouds in my living room spontaneously, and gets me some pretty good photos. So, come along and join me for the adventure of figuring out how that all works. I may have bought a toy. That toy being smoke machine. I don't know much about smoke machines. I've used it once on a set, it's pretty shit. And the other thing I know about it is if you don't wrap up the smoke alarms, they go beep. And yeah, so first thing, let's do that and then we can set some stuff up. Bruh. Okay. Oh yeah, smother it to death. Oh, like wrapping up a bit of candy, but it might kill me if I forget to take it off. Sweet. Alright, that's all the smoke alarms. Oh, I'm gonna stab myself. The comical stabbing. A manual. God, that's gonna get neglected. Maybe not read that.
Wait, feet? Feet?
Okay. Stop filming feet. That's all. Stop filming feet. Hey guys, Lou with Unbox Therapy here. Oh. Sauce. This is called the DMX 1500 Beams Smoke. So I actually have no idea how smoke machines work. So what I was told from the sus bloke at the store was you put smoke juice in smoke machine acts like a kettle. Smoke machine coughs out. So as far as I know, you fill it up. You're telling me that makes smoke? So, from what I'm aware, you turn it on, it's on, you let it heat up for a bit, and then you press a button and smoke comes out. That's as much as I know. I might read the manual.
A rare sight, really. You don't fucking read.
Yeah. As a man that can't read, or more so chooses not to read, this is a rare sight indeed.
Ooh, cinematic montage?
I've read the manual. It's pretty straightforward, not much to it. Turn the button on, it should work pretty much. You might stand back.
Action shot.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kinda sus. Oh. Sus. Oh. So typically when you make films with smoke, it's very bad and just kind of dissipates immediately. And even in like a still draft room, it still just fucks off. This, however, it's like stagnant, it's just too thick for its own good. So after we set it all up and I actually read the manual for the first time in my life, I figured out the stuff you have to follow to make the smoke machine work, like wait a certain amount of time and what button to press out of the three. I know, big brain activities. So onto the plan. The plan for the shoot was pretty simple. I wanted to use the couch and the corner of my room sort of like the focal point and the leading lights. So this is how I wanted the floor plan kind of work. I wanted the subject sitting in the corner of the room on the couches. I wanted the Aperture 120D outside with a hard light source modifier and a gel to blast through the blinds for two reasons. To create a pattern on the wall beside it, and secondly, to imitate moonlight. And then finally, I wanted the house light downstairs in the corner of the room behind the subject pointing down to act as a hair light. And all this kind of helps to create a nice backlit scenario. So now you got the plan, let's go and set it up. That's what pisses me off, but it'll do. Think we're ready for photos? Yeah? Alright, so Jaden's sitting over there now. I'm gonna take some test photos to show him not to fuck up. Don't fuck this up. And then I'm gonna put the smoke in and I'll go from there. I'll be the one modeling and I'll put on a jacket and chill. I don't know.
Outside off.
Yeah. Oh, mate. That's 10 times better. So after we set it all up and I actually did some test photos shortly after, ran into a few problems that I want to address before we change from the plan. That being that the light we were using had 3 bulbs, and I ended up taking out 2 because the colors didn't match and it was just overpowering the whole scene. It was far too bright. So now onto the whole idea of the photo. I wasn't really going for anything specific. This was more of a proof of concept and playing around with the smoke machine. Because I'm a child and I have adult money and I like to play with new toys that make clouds in my living room. It's very fun. It makes beeping noises from my ceiling. So other than that, we didn't really have much of a plan, but I kind of wanted to lean into the idea of playing with smoke and lights and colors. So went for the whole like psychedelic, hazy, neon, cyberpunk shit. Basically, I went whatever the fuck looked cool and I liked, made my eyes happy. So other than that, let's get back to the shooting process. And this is how that happened. Smoke time.
Oh, bro, that's terrifying. Right, trick is just press the red button.
That's right. Stop.
Yeah, it just takes a long time.
Oh, Jaden, I got an idea. Those lights. Just make this. So now I finished with photos. Did great. It turned out really well. Once again, catchphrase, Jaden, great job. Oh, that's my boy. That's my boy. I raised him. He's older than me, but I raised him. It turned out really good. I was really happy with it, and for the first time using a smoke machine and the challenges that came along with it, turned out cool. So without further ado, here's the photos. This is how they turned out. This is me, and this is Jaden. So we both did a pretty good job. Up to you really if you like them or not, but I personally really do. I'm definitely going to be using the smoke machine a lot in future because that shit busted. Me like it. Me really like it. So now you've seen the photos, I actually want to get onto some stuff I kind of learnt while using the smoke machine. So things I learnt quickly, you want to backlight smoke. I kind of really knew that, but when it comes to it, you'll notice something very quickly when you're working with different color valued lights. They tend to mesh. Here's an example. In this photo, you can see that I was clearly using a blue light from outside and an orange light from underneath. There's a lot of purple in the frame. That's because blue and orange kind of make that purpley tone, at least the lights I was using. I didn't quite know this. I kind of thought they would just stop, foolishly enough. I didn't really like the purple too much. It fits, it looks good, but if I wasn't using complementary colors that were opposite on the color spectrum, it would probably look pretty bad. So that's the thing to take into consideration if you're working with smoke and any sort of like atmospheric haze when you're shooting with different colored lights from the background, they will blend. And it will also affect color grading quite a lot because, you know, computers don't work too well with gradients, as color banding, all that shit. Be wary of that. That's going to pop up too. So make sure if you're shooting with a lot of different colors, at least fit them on the same end of the color spectrum because you're going to get some really funky purples when you're trying to edit some reds right next to it and they're going to band. So it will limit the amount of, you know, in-depth tweaking you can do after the fact. So it's good to get it right in camera when you shoot it. Other than that, the smoke tends to dissipate pretty quickly and you can probably notice that in the video. I just forgot. Mostly because my ceiling started yelling at me and I was too afraid to do it again because I thought I'd get evicted. But if you're not scared about that, feel free to, you know, make sure you don't forget how smoky it is. Because in the early part of the video, quite smoky, looked great. Like this photo, very smoky. And the later part of the video, not so smoky, a little bit smoky. Could be more smoky. Bruh. So that's about it. Feel free to follow me on Instagram here to see some more photos and whatever the fuck else I might be up to. And, you know, feel free to subscribe and like the video here too if you so much enjoyed it. Other than that, goodbye.